Make the ground shake.
Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are back with another statue tutorial. Today, continuing with the theme of Suicide Squad, we are doing Deadshot. So, Suicide Squad, as I said, I was going to go watch it last week. I really enjoyed it, so I thought that I'd get some more Suicide Squad content out there. Apologies for it being a bit delayed. I kind of had like a bit of a week's hiatus from the channel where I didn't re-upload, and that was purely a combination of me being super busy with my birthday, a party, and also just generally going out, as well as me being a tiny bit demotivated, but now I'm back on it and trying to get into daily videos again, so I appreciate your patience. With that said, let's do a Deadshot. So originally I made a design before seeing the film. I completely scrapped it whilst I'd seen the film because it looked really off. So this is my second version. I'm going to call it my improved version, so I really do hope you enjoy. Anyways, the blocks you're going to need to build this are the following. You'll need polished andesite, sand stained clay, grey wool, light grey wool, stone, red wool, red stained clay, brown stained clay, black wool, quartz, and purple wool. So if you want to grab them blocks into your inventory, that would be great. And then we can get straight into building. So, as I said, this is a more improved design, which means it's more difficult, I guess you could say, so will probably take longer. So make sure you pay attention and pause whenever you feel is necessary, and you shouldn't have any problems. So we're going to start off this build by building the front of the legs. Now the front of the legs is 12 tall and 8 wide. So we're going to find a nice open area, and we're going to start off by placing the first layer again, which is 8 wide. So the first layer is 1 polished andesite, 1 sand stained clay, 4 andesite, 1 sand stained clay, and 1 andesite. As you can see, my block placing skills are not on point right now, but that is the first layer. The second layer is 8 grey wool. So again, 8 grey wool. The third layer is 1 stone, 6 sand stained clay, and 1 stone. The next layer is 2 stone, 1 light grey, 2 grey, 1 light grey, 2 stone. That was the fourth layer. The fifth layer is 8 red wool, so a strip of 8 red wool, again currently 5 blocks tall. The sixth layer is 2 grey wool, 1 cyan, 2 grey, 1 cyan, and 2 grey. The next layer, which is the 7th layer, is 8 black wool. So a layer of 8 black wool. The next layer is 3 grey wool, 2 light grey, and 3 grey. Again, I keep on backing up just in case you want to pause and catch up. The next layer is 2 grey, 1 light grey, 2 grey, 1 light grey, and 2 grey. The layer after that, the 10th layer, is 8 black wool. 2 more layers left. The second to last layer, aka the 11th layer, is 1 brown stained clay, 1 grey wool, 1 cyan stained clay, 2 light grey, 1 cyan stained clay, 1 grey wool, and 1 brown stained clay. And the final, last, 12th layer is 1 grey wool, 2 brown stained clay, 2 red wool, 2 brown stained clay, and 1 grey wool. Now once you've done that, it should look something like this. That is 12 tall and 8 blocks wide, and that is the front of the legs. Now again, if you think this is all a trick and I'm lying to you and it's not in fact 12 tall, let me show you a little trick to, I guess, prove it to you and regain your confidence and your trust about this build. So as you can see, I'm on console, so I've grabbed myself a map. You see here my Y coordinate, it goes up when I go up, down when I go down. So if I stand on floor level, my Y coordinate is Y5. Yours may be different, so please, 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 please go on your Y coordinate, not mine. So if your Y coordinate is Y10, don't base it that it's Y5, because that will completely mess up and your statue will be 5 blocks shorter for the hell of it. So again, what I'm going to do is go to floor level, Y5, I'm going to add 12 blocks onto that, so that's Y17. So I come up to here, sit on here, as you can see, that is in fact Y17, which proves that this is 12 blocks tall. Now for PC, the way you can do that is press F3, and it will have the exact same effect. You'll see your X, Y, and Z coordinate. And again, it's just a useful trick. It's more useful when you get later on in the build where you're building to the top of the body and it's 24 tool, because otherwise you have to count 24 each time and it becomes a bit of a pain. So again, useful trick, and you can use it whenever you feel is necessary. So, with that said, again, that is 12 tall and 8 wide, and that is the legs. We're now going to start working on the body. So, for the body, we're going to start off, we're going to place a row of 3 red wool, 2 black wool, and 3 red wool. What we're then going to do is to the left of it, we're going to go 4 blocks to the left using grey wool. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And same on the right side. We go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 to the left, 4 to the right using grey wool. And that is where the arms are going to start. We're not going to do the arms now, but it's just marking out where they go so we can come back later on and work on it. So again, just time-saving techniques. It means we don't have to come back again and count. And you can really tell that I'm just super lazy. Any loophole, any like little trick that saves time, I just do it. Anyways, continue with the body now. Again, the body is 12 tall, 8 wide, it's the same as the legs. The second layer, on top of this red wool here, we're going to place 1 red wool, 6 black wool, and 1 red wool. Now, a little thing about the body is we're going to be building the under part of the body. So when I say the under part, there's going to be a 3D effect on top, which is going to be like the chest plate of his armor. And that's going to be built on top. So the base design underneath is going to be relatively plain in some sense, but it's going to contain some of the detail which we're going to turn 3D afterwards. So what I mean by that is we're going to build another layer of what we've built here on top to make it 3D. So the third layer of the body, again, first layer being 3 red wool, 2 black wool, 3 red. Second layer being 1 red, 6 black, 1 red. The next 2 layers is 8 black wool. So again, I repeat that, that is 2 layers of 8 black wool, and that is the third and fourth layer. The fifth layer is 1 red wool, 2 black, 2 stone, 2 black, and 1 red. The next layer is 1 cyan stain clay, 2 black wool, 2 stone, 2 black wool, and 1 cyan stain clay. The next layer is 1 red wool, 2 stone, 2 light grey, 2 stone, 1 red wool. Again, this is what it looks like so far. That was the 7th layer. The 8th layer is 1 stone, 2 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, 2 grey, and 1 stone. Again, just to repeat that, 1 stone, 2 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, 2 grey, and 1 stone. And that was the 8th layer. The 9th layer is 1 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, 2 light grey, 1 stone, 1 light grey, and 1 grey. Again, I keep on backing up just in case you want to pause. The 10th layer is 1 light grey, 2 stone, 2 light grey, 2 stone, and 1 light grey. The next layer is 1 light grey, 1 stone, 1 light grey, 1 cyan stain clay, 1 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, and 1 light grey. So that was the 11th layer. And the 12th and final layer for now is a 1 grey, 1 red wool, 1 cyan stain clay, 2 red wool, 1 grey, 1 red wool, and 1 grey. And once you've done that, that will give you, again, another 12 by 8. This time is going to be for the body rather than the legs, of course. And for some reason, it's frozen on the menu. My Minecraft is being a bit slow, I guess. Let me get rid of my arm. There we go. So, as you can see here, that is the body. That is 12 by 8. If you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm trying to cut off the legs so that you don't get confused. But again, what I'm going to do, grab a map and prove to you that we're now 24 blocks off the floor. So again, if you rewind a little bit and remember that my Y coordinate on the floor was 5, add 24 onto that, we're looking for Y29, as you can see here. Again, factor in, if your floor level is not 5, add 24 onto your floor level, not mine. So, again, 24 tall right now, 8 blocks wide, 16 if you're including the arms. But I wouldn't include the arms yet because, of course, we haven't actually built them. So, as I was saying, what we're going to do now is add a little 3D effect. I say little, it takes up most of the body, so it's not really little. This is going to be his armor. It's going to make him look bulky and also make him look kind of cool, so it's a really, really good thing to add. So, the way we're going to start off by doing this is we're going to start at the bottom left corner in front of this red wall. We're going to place 2 black wool, leave a 1 block gap, 2 black wool, 1 block gap, and then 2 black wool. So essentially, again, we're building on top, not into on top. So then what we're going to do is on the left side, on this black wall here, on the right one, so on the second block, we're going to go up 1 using grey wool, up 2 using cyan, and then 1 grey wool. And we're going to do the exact same on the right side, but on the first one. So 1 grey, 2 cyan, and 1 grey. So as you can see, essentially, you leave a 1 block gap on this side, and a 1 block gap on this side, and there should be a 4 block gap in the middle. In this 4 block gap, we're going to place 1 black wool, 2 cyan stained clay, and 1 black wool, and it will link it together like so. So again, there should still be a 1 block gap either side of this 2 central black wool here, but this part here now should be connected. On top of this, we're going to place a row of 4 black wool. The next row is 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, 1 black wool, and then the row after that is 1 black wool, 2 stone, and 1 black wool. So as you can see, right now that gives you a 6 wide by 4 tall rectangle with the 3 2x1 of black wool coming off the side. So what we're going to do is to cap it off and kind of lead into the next part, we're going to place 2 black wool either side, already covering the existent 2 black wool. So it's kind of at this point already templated out what we're going to do. So we place the 2 black wool there, and in the middle we place 2 stone. So essentially now, what we're going to do is cover this. So this pattern we did here is not going to be irrelevant. Essentially, all we're doing is bringing it 1 forwards. So everything that is grey, light grey, stone, or cyan stained clay, we're going to bring 1 block forwards. So the first layer we're going to do is we're going to place 2 stone, 2 light grey, 2 stone. The next layer is 1 stone, 2 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, 2 grey, 1 stone. So as you can see, I'm just going layer by layer, bringing it forwards 1 block, making it 3D. The next layer is 1 grey, 1 light grey, 1 stone, 2 light grey, stone, light grey, grey. The next layer is 1 light grey, 2 stone, 2 light grey, 2 stone, 1 light grey. Second to last layer is 1 light grey, 1 stone, 1 light grey. We leave these 2 blocks visible, so this is the exceptions. 1 light grey, 1 stone, 1 light grey. And then for the final layer, all we're going to do is we're going to go on the left and on the right, we're going to place 1 grey wool. So again, this little like V shape for the neck is exempt from this. But once you've done that, you'll have a body plate, or an armor plate should I say, which looks like this. So that covers the whole body in the sense that it's 12 tall and 8 wide. And then of course we've got the gaps on the left side, right side, bottom, and then of course the top for the neck. So again, that's what it looks like. If you want to pause, feel free to do so. And you can see that it's starting to take shape. But with that said, what we're going to do now is start working on the arms. So we're going to start working on the left arm first. The left arm starts on the 13th layer of the build. So come to the first layer of the body, aka in line with this black wool here. aka again the 13th layer, so just count up to 13th layer, go 4 blocks to the left using grey wool. If you've already done this, perfect. So the arms are 12 tall and 4 blocks wide. We're going to do layer by layer left to right. So the first layer again is 4 grey wool. The second layer is 4 black wool. The next layer is 1 stone, 2 red wool, and 1 red stained clay. The layer after that is 1 light grey, 1 red wool, 1 black wool, and 1 red wool. The next layer is 3 black wool and 1 grey. The layer after that is 2 red stained clay, 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay. Next is 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 2 red wool. So that was the 7th layer. The 8th layer is 1 black wool, 1 red stained clay, 2 red wool. That's not red wool. There we go. The next layer is 1 black wool, 1 red stained clay, 1 red wool, and 1 red stained clay. The next layer is 4 black wool. That was the 10th layer. The 11th layer is 2 grey wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 red wool. And the final layer, the 12th layer, is 1 black wool, 1 cyan stained clay, 1 grey wool, and 1 red stained clay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of my arm, and you'll be able to look at what it looks like. As you can see, that is the left arm. It is 12 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. Now the other arm, the right arm, is the exact same, just mirrored. So if you want to skip ahead, build this exact same thing, but flip it over. And what I mean by that is that the left side of this arm should be the left side of the right arm. So essentially, the left side should be the right side. So essentially what you're going to do is copy and paste it, but flip it over so that this is on the far side and then this part is on the inner side. So again, I probably made that more complicated than it should have been, or explained it more complicated, but essentially it's a carbon copy just flipped over. But just in case you want an explanation for the next part, I'm going to go over it nevertheless. So again, if you want to skip ahead, feel free to do so. So anyways, working on the right arm now. Of course, come to the right side, the 13th layer, 4 blocks to the right, using our grey wool. The second layer is 4 black wool, again we're going left to right. The third layer is 1 red stained clay, 2 red wool, and 1 stone. The fourth layer is 1 red wool, 1 black wool, 1 red wool, and 1 light grey. The next layer is 1 grey wool and 3 black wool. After that we have 1 red stained clay, 1 red wool, and 2 red stained clay. Next layer is 2 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 red wool. The next layer is 2 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 black wool. The next layer is 1 red stained clay, 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 black wool. The 10th layer is 4 black wool. The 11th layer is 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 2 grey wool. And the 12th and final layer is 1 red stained clay, 1 grey wool, 1 cyan stained clay, and 1 black wool. And that is the right arm complete. So as you can see, again, exact same, just flipped over, so that the outside is on the outside of the right side. So again, if you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. You can really now start to see the character coming together. Let me get rid of my arm. I'm going to back up and give you a full view of what it should look like so far. So again, that is 24 blocks tall, 16 wide, 8 wide if you're not including the arms, and then of course the 3D effects are on top. So, making nice progress. What we're going to do now is start working on the side of the legs and then the side of the arms. We're going to start off with the side of the left leg. So, the way we're going to do this is come to the bottom left corner, to this polished andesite right here, and then come around to the left side. We're going to expand it backwards, so 1, 2, using cyan stained clay and 1 andesite, and that will now be 4 blocks wide. So the side of the leg is 12 tall and 4 wide, however this is the 4th row here. So we're only placing 3 blocks, and then the 3 blocks will add to the already existent row and make a 12 by 4. So the side of the leg is pretty detailed, so I'm going to take it nice and slowly. Starting off at the bottom left corner, again the first layer is 1 polished andesite, 2 cyan, and then 1 polished andesite. The second layer is 1 grey wool, 1 cyan stained clay, and 1 grey wool. The third layer is 1 cyan stained clay and 2 grey wool. And then the next layer is 2 grey wool and 1 light grey wool. The fifth layer is 1 cyan stained clay and 2 red wool. The sixth layer is 2 red wool and 1 grey wool. And the seventh layer is 2 grey wool and 1 light grey wool. The next layer is 1 grey wool, 1 black wool, and 1 grey wool. The layer after that is one light grey, one black, and one stone. Again, I'll back up so you can pause if you want. The next layer, which is the 10th layer, is one light grey, one black, and one grey. The 11th layer is one brown stained clay, one black wool, and one brown stained clay. And the final layer is one stone, one grey wool, and one stone. So this is the left side of the leg. Again, it is 12 blocks tall and 4 blocks wide. From the corner angle or the side angle, it looks like this. Now we are going to add a 3D effect onto this side. So for this, we're going to need our light grey wool and our stone. And then I'm also going to grab some yellow wool. Now, you can use any colour, really. I'm going to choose to use yellow, because if my memory is correct, that is the colour his little side utility belt is in the film. So, the way we're going to do this is we're going to come to the top left corner, and we're going to go down diagonal to this black wool right here. We're going to place one yellow wool, and to right of it, one more. And underneath this, we're going to place a little 3x2 area. So, directly underneath the left side, we're going to place one stone, and then we're going to go down diagonal to right and place one more. In this gap here, we're going to place one light grey. We're then going to go down diagonal to the left, and that is now a 2x2. And underneath this, we're going to place a 2x1 of light grey wool, and that gives us a 4x2, 4 tall, 2 wide. And that is going to be our little side pouch for the left side of the leg. And that's what it looks like. So if you want to pause, again, you are more than welcome to do so. So we're now going to repeat this, very, very similar, to the right side now. And again, we're going to add a little 3D pouch to the right side, but the right side one will be slightly different. So, again, left side of the leg complete. Now moving on to the right side. So, for the right side, very, very similar again. We're just going to expand 2 to right using cyan stained clay and 1 polished andesite. Same logic applies, it is 12 tall and 4 wide. It's currently an L shape. We're going to place 3 blocks per row, and it will give us our 12x4 overall. So, second layer is 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, and 1 grey wool. The next layer is 2 grey wool and 1 cyan. The next layer is 1 light grey and 2 grey. After that, we have 2 red wool and 1 cyan. Then we got 1 light grey and 2 red. Next layer is 1 light grey, 1 stone, and 1 grey. And that is the 7th layer. The next layer is 1 grey wool, 1 black wool, and 1 grey wool. The layer after that is 1 stone, 1 black wool, and 1 light grey. The next layer is 1 grey wool, 1 black wool, and 1 light grey wool. The 11th layer is 1 brown stained clay, 1 black wool, and 1 brown stained clay. And the 12th and final layer is stone, grey wool, stone. So, as you can see, the base design of the right side of the leg is the exact same as the left side. However, as I mentioned, the 3D little side belt utility item is slightly different. This one we're going to make out of red wool and red stained clay. So, what we're going to do is start off getting my arm back, that would help, and we're going to get our red wool and red stained clay. Same logic applies, so we're going to go to the top left corner, go down diagonal, and place 2 red wool. Underneath this, on the left side, we're going to place 1 red wool and 1 red stained clay. Underneath this, so the third layer is going to be 1 red stained clay and 1 red wool, and the final layer is 2 red wool, and that is a 4x2. That is the right side of the leg, so that's the utility belt on the right side. And then, of course, on the left side, it's the exact same, but the top layer is yellow, and then the remainder is stone and light grey wool. So, if you come to the front view now, you'll see it looks like this. It's really starting to look nice and look interesting. So, now what we're going to do is start working on the side of the arms. What we're going to do is come around to the rear side of the statue with our grey wool. We're going to come to the bottom of each existent hand, so the grey wool, and we're going to expand 1, 2, 3 all the way across. And if you've done it correctly, it should be a 4x4 square of grey wool underneath. I'm going to do the exact same for the other side now. So 1, 2, 3, all the way back, all the way across. And again, a 4x4 square of grey wool. So, as you can see here, we have two platforms, one for left hand, one for right. We're going to come around to the left side of the left arm, and again, it should be a backwards L shape. So, again, same logic applies, 12 tall, 4 wide, 3 blocks in each layer. We're going to start off with the second layer, which consists of 3 black wool. Again, the first layer is 3 grey wool, 3 black wool. The next layer is 1 light grey, 1 stone, and 1 grey. The fourth layer is 1 grey, 1 light grey, and 1 stone. The next layer is 3 black wool. We then have 3 red wool, and then 3 red stained clay. So, relatively easy so far. The next layer is 2 grey wool, and 1 black wool. And then the layer after that is 1 grey wool, 2 black wool. The next layer, the 10th layer, is 3 black wool. The 11th layer is 2 black wool and 1 cyan. And the 12th and final layer is 1 black wool and 2 cyan stained clay. And as you can see, that's what it looks like. That is the left side of the arm. Now again, I repeat, the right side is the exact same, so if you want to copy it, then you are more than welcome to do so. But again, same logic applies with the arms as the legs. There's a little 3D effect, and that's what we're going to add right now. So if you've watched the film, you'll know that he has 2 like little guns on each wrist, and we're going to be using red wool and grey wool. What we're going to do is come to the bottom left corner and go up diagonal to the 2 center black wools here. So there should be a 1 block gap on the left, 1 on the right, and then 1 block from the bottom as well. We're going to place 2 red wool. On top of this, we're going to place 2 grey wool, and then 2 red wool on top. That's going to be our little 3D gun, a little effect on his wrist. And as you can see, that's what it looks like from the corner angle, and then that's what it looks like head on. So, again, what we're going to do now is go around to the right side of the arm and rinse and repeat. It's literally a carbon copy, including the 3D effect this time, because his guns on the wrists are the exact same. So, coming around to the right side now. Again, L shape, 12 by 4, same logic applies. The first layer is 3 grey wool. Second layer is 3 black wool. Third layer is 1 grey wool, 1 stone, and 1 light grey. The fourth layer is 1 stone, 1 light grey, and 1 grey. The next layer is 3 black wool. Then we have 3 red wool and 3 red stained clay. The next layer is 1 black wool and 2 grey. The layer after that is 2 black wool and 1 grey. And then the 10th layer is 3 black wool. The second to last layer, the 11th layer, is 1 cyan stained clay and 2 black wool. And then the final layer is 2 cyan stained clay and 1 black wool. So that is what it looks like, again from the side without the 3D effect. And then for the 3D effect, same logic applies. We come to the bottom left corner. We go up diagonal and we place 2 red wool in the center 2 blocks. So there's a 1 block gap on the left, 1 on the right. On top of this, we're going to place 2 grey wool, and then on top of that, 2 red wool, and that is our 3D effects. Again, from the side angle, looks like this, and then from head on, like this. So, what I'm going to do, back up, you can kind of see things are really starting to take shape and look kind of cool. So, we're going to come around to the rear side of the statue, and you can see that it's a bit of a mess, and kind of, I guess, holding us back a bit. So, that's what we're going to work on now. So, we're going to start off on the back of the legs. Again, it's 12 by 8, 12 tall, 8 wide. However, row here plus row here equals 2. So we're only placing 6 blocks in each row because 6 plus 2 equals 8. And that's what we're looking for. And that's some great maths right there. So again, layer by layer, 12 in total, 6 blocks per layer. Starting off at the bottom left corner, we're going to be placing 2 polished andesite, 2 stone, and 2 polished andesite. The second layer is 1 cyan stained clay, 1 grey wool, 2 cyan, 1 grey, 1 cyan. The next layer is 2 cyan, 2 grey, 2 cyan. And then the layer after that is 1 grey, 1 cyan, 2 grey, 1 cyan, 1 grey. The next layer is 1 grey wool, 4 cyan, and 1 grey wool. And the 6th layer is 6 red wool. Again, so far this is what it should be looking like. If you want to pause, that is the first 6 layers halfway there. So the 7th layer is 6 light grey wool. The 7th layer is 1 grey wool, 1 light grey, 2 grey, 1 light grey, 1 grey. The next layer is 2 grey, 2 cyan and 2 grey. After that we do 1 light grey, 1 grey, 2 light grey, 1 grey and 1 light grey. The 11th layer is 6 brown stained clay, and then the 12th layer is 1 grey wool, 4 red wool and 1 grey wool. So again, going to get rid of my arm just so you can see. Pause if you want. This is the back of the legs, again 12 tall and 8 wide. Moving on to the back of the body, it's the exact same concept as the front of the body. So what we're going to be doing is building the back, and then we're going to be building like the back chest plate / armor on top. So if I get my arm back, if I can just hook that back on, fly up a little bit, again 12 by 8 layer by layer. So the first layer is 3 red wool, 2 black wool and 3 red wool. The next layer is 1 red wool, 6 black wool and 1 red wool. The third layer is 8 black wool. The next 2 layers are the exact same. That consists of 1 red wool, 6 black wool and 1 red wool. And again, we repeat that. So 2 layers of 1 red, 6 black and 1 red. The next layer is 8 black wool. The next layer after that is 1 red wool, 6 black wool and 1 red wool. The next layer is 3 red wool, 2 black wool and 3 red wool. And then the remaining 4 layers is simply just 8 red wool. So that's 4 layers of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3 and finally 4. And that will bring you up to the same height as the front of the body. You can go ahead and link them together using red wool. It doesn't really matter because this part's going to be covered up by the head, but it's always cool to link them together just so you have a finished effect. So that is what the rear of the body looks like. However, it's not, because we're going to be adding the 3D effects as I mentioned. Now the 3D effects on this side are quite detailed, so I definitely suggest taking it slow and pausing whenever you feel. So, starting off at the bottom layer of the body, so the first layer where we've got this red wool here in line with the grey wool, we're going to leave a 1 block gap, so not on this first red wool, but on the second we're going to place 2 cyan stained clay, 2 black wool and 2 cyan stained clay. That's not cyan, that's grey. There we go. So, for the second layer, what we're going to do is go up diagonal to left and on the right side up to right using cyan. In the middle, we're going to place 6 grey wool. Again, this is all 3D, so we're building on top, not into. On top of this, the next layer is going to be 1 black wool, 1 grey wool, 1, 2, 3, 4 black wool, 1 grey wool, and 1 black wool. So again, that's 1 black wool, 1 grey, 4 black, 1 grey, 1 black. The next layer, we're going to leave a 1 block gap. We're going to place 2 black wool, 2 stone, and 2 black wool. On top of this, the next layer is 1 black wool, 1 stone, 2 light grey, 1 stone, and 1 black wool. So at this point, each layer is 6 blocks wide. The next layer is 1 black wool, 1 light grey, 2 black wool, 1 light grey, and 1 black wool. And the next layer is the exact same, but instead of light grey, it's stone. So black wool, stone, 2 black wool, stone, and 1 black wool. The layer after that is 1 stone, 1 light grey, 1 brown stained clay, 1 black wool, 1 light grey, 1 stone, and then the final layer we'll do for now is 6 black wool. So essentially, it should currently look like this. Now that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks tall, so there should be a 3 block gap at the top, and we will be filling this, but for now it again looks like this. Now, you see on the left side and the right side there is one black wall here. What we're going to do is bring this one block forwards on either side, and it will look like this. Again, that's what it looks like so far. The top part, this area up here, is an 8x3. So what we're going to do is go up diagonal to the left from this black wall. We're going to place 2 grey wool, 1 cyan, 2 brown stained clay, 1 cyan, and 2 grey wool. The second layer is 1 grey wool, 1 cyan, 1 stone, 2 cyan, 1 stone, 1 cyan, and 1 grey wool. And the final layer is 1 cyan, 2 grey, 2 cyan, 2 grey, and 1 cyan stained clay. And it looks like that. That is the rear of the body complete. I keep on nearly going to credits. I don't want to do that. So, as you can see, that's what it looks like. Again, it covers a 12x8 area. And if you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. Please bear in mind, I will be doing a little spin around in a second anyways, once we've completed the back of the arms and the shoulders, just to keep you guys up to date and make sure none of you have got lost along the way. So, as I said, what we're going to do now is filling in the back of the arms and then the shoulders, and then we'll move on to the head. So, we're going to start off on the back of the right arm, so in this case it's our left side, and we've got the first layer already done, which is grey wool. Now again, same logic as the sides, it's 12x4, the fourth block is already done, so we're only placing 3. So the second layer is 3 black wool. The layer after that is 1 red wool, 2 red stained clay. The next layer is 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 red wool. So that's the fourth layer. The next layer is 3 black wool. On top of that, we have 2 red stained clay and 1 red wool. The next layer is 3 red wool. The layer after that is 2 red wool and 1 red stained clay. Then we have 1 red wool and 2 red stained clay. The next layer is 1 grey wool, 1 red wool, and 1 red stained clay. The second to last layer is 1 black wool, 1 cyan, and 1 red wool. And the next layer is the exact same, apart from instead of the cyan, instead of red wool, it's red stained clay. So it goes 1 black wool, 1 cyan, and 1 red stained clay. And that is the back of the right arm. Again, 12x4, and the other side is the exact same. So again, I'll give you guys a second to pause and catch up if you need to. And now we're going to move on to the rear of the other arm. So, for the back of this arm, again, first layer is grey wool. Second layer is black wool. The third layer is 2 red stained clay, 1 red wool. The layer after that is 1 red wool, 1 red stained clay, and 1 red wool. The next layer is 3 black wool. Again, just backing up so you can see. The next layer, the layer after that, is 1 red wool and 2 red stained clay. We then have 3 red wool. The next layer is 1 red stained clay and 2 red wool. After that, we have 2 red stained clay, 1 red wool. The next layer is 1 red stained clay, 1 red wool, and 1 grey wool. The next layer is 1 red wool, 1 cyan stained clay, and 1 black wool. And then the final layer is 1 red stained clay, 1 cyan, and 1 black wool. Again, exact same as the other side. I'll get rid of my arm for a second, just so you can pause. Again, that is the rear of the body and also the rear of each arm. So, for the shoulders, which is the final part we're going to do before we move on to the head, all we're going to do, come around to the front side, and all you're going to want to do is fill it in using red wool. So just fill it in solid using red wool. What you could do, if you really want to, is in between the 2 red stained clay here, you can just join it together using red stained clay. The rest you can just use red wool, it doesn't really matter that much. If you really, really want to, you could even potentially fill it in with cyan stained clay or grey wool. Grey wool looks like this, and then cyan stained clay looks like this. Cyan kind of looks the best, I guess, on second thought. So fill the 2x2 in with cyan, and then the 2 blocks on the inside using your red stained clay. either how, doesn't really matter, you won't be able to see much of it, so it's not a big part. But with that said, that is the body complete, and that leaves us with just the head, which isn't actually that difficult, so shouldn't take too long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do like a little spin around, show you guys step by step what it should look like, and then give you guys opportunity to pause. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to come to a specific part of the statue. For example, here is the front of the legs. I'm going to state it is the front of the legs. It is 12 tall, 8 wide. Feel free to pause. I'm not going to say that every time because that will drive me mad, it will drive you mad. Everyone in the whole universe will get triggered. So I'm not going to say that every single time, but just go on the basis that I'm going to give you like 3 or 4 seconds to hit the pause button on the video, and that works just as good. So hopefully that is all good. So again, this is the front of the legs, 12 tall and 8 wide. Moving on up, we have the front of the body, which is again 12 tall and 8 wide, has the 3D chest plate, as you can see here. And then we got the front of each arm, which is 12 tall, 4 wide. Coming around to the left side, we have the left side of the leg, which is 12 tall, 4 wide, with the little 4x2 3D effect. The left side of the arm, again, 12x4 with the 3x2 3D effect. Coming around to the right side now, with the right side of the leg, again, 12x4 with the 4x2 3D effect. And the right side of the arm, 12x4 with the 3x2 3D effect. Coming around to the rear side, we have the rear side of the legs, which is 12x8, 12 tall, 8 wide. With the rear side of the body, again 12 tall, 8 wide with the 3D back plate, and the back of each arm 12x4. The shoulders up here is 16 wide, 4 thick. Again, the majority of it is going to be covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but that is what it looks like nevertheless. Again, you can play around. If you want the shoulders red, feel free to make them red. In this case, I've used cyan because, again, it doesn't really matter too much. So, again, that is the statue so far. If you have any issues and don't have something looking like this, again, bear in mind it should be 24 tall, 16 wide, 8 wide if you're including the arms, and then also 4 thick. If you don't have something looking like this, then please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll try and help you on a more personalised one-to-one basis. Again, please bear in mind one person, so if I don't reply straight away, that is why. And now what we're going to do is, of course, move on to the head. So, for the head, what we're going to do is we're going to come to the front side. Now, the way you can, again, identify the front side is either by knowing which side is which, but the easier way to tell is the front side chest plate has a lot more light grey and stone in it than the rear side. So as you can see here, this is mainly comprised of stone and light grey. If you come to the rear side, it is mainly grey wool and black wool. As you can see here, it's a lot darker on the rear side than it is on the front side. So that's an easy way to tell which one is which. Also, the front side has this little section here, which is like the V-neck of his, I guess, where his neck is and his jacket. So what we're going to do is come to the top left corner to this shoulder here, and we're going to count 5 blocks to the right. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 5th block we're going to place a stone and bring it 2 forwards using light grey wool. We're going to do the exact same now on the right side, so we head over to the right side at the front and we count 5 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we place a stone and then bring it 2 forwards. Now if you've done it correctly, there should be a 6 block gap in between. So for the inside layer, we're going to place 6 quartz, and then for the outer layer, we're going to place 1 light grey, 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 4 quartz, I don't know why I said 1, and 1 light grey. And that will give you an 8x2 overhang, as you can see here, and it will look like this. So next what we're going to do is come around to the side, and we're going to expand it backwards 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 using stone, and same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what we're going to do is, again, link them together. So for the first layer, which is going to be covered up anyways, just place a layer of 6 stone. And then for the second layer, place 1 stone, 4 light grey, and 1 stone. And it looks like this. So that is the template we're going to be using for the head. Again, it's an 8x8 square with an 8x2 overhang on each side. We got the front side, and then the left, right, and rear side. So, again, this is the template we're going to be using, and we're going to start off at the front side, aka the face. So the front side is the part with 2 light grey, 4 quartz, and 2 light grey. That is the first layer. The second layer, which we're going to build on top of this, is 1 light grey, 6 quartz, and 1 light grey. The next layer is 8 quartz. So that is the third layer, again 8 quartz. The fourth layer is 1 stone, 1 white wool. You can use quartz technically if you want to, but I recommend grabbing white wool, so I'll just grab this in. So 1 white wool, 1 black wool, 2 light grey, 1 red, 1 purple, let me just grab that, and 1 stone. So again, just to repeat that in case you got lost, is 1 stone, 1 white wool, 1 black wool, 2 light grey, 1 red, 1 purple, 1 stone. Now again, you can use quartz, you can use white wool, you can use snow. I recommend using not quartz because otherwise it's going to blend with the mask too much, as you can see here, and it looks a tad weird. So again, white wool is probably the better alternative, but again, isn't compulsory. So that is the 4th layer. The 5th layer is 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 4 quartz, 1 light grey, and 1 quartz. And then the next 2 layers is quartz, stone, 4 quartz, stone, quartz. So again, a second layer of that. So that is quartz, stone, 4 quartz, stone, and quartz. And that is the 6th and 7th layer. And for the 8th layer, the final layer, we're going to place 1 light grey, 1 stone, 4 quartz, 1 stone, and 1 light grey. And once you've done that, it looks like this, and that is an 8 by 8 square. Now that is the front of our face, the front of the head, and again, it's 8 by 8. This is the version where he's wearing his mask. So I know in the film, Will Smith, he takes off his mask quite a lot. This is going to be Deadshot when he's wearing his mask, aka when he's like fighting or killing people. If you do want a version with him not wearing the mask, basically Will Smith's head instead, let me know and I'll see what I can do. I might not do a tutorial on it because it seems a bit pointless just doing the whole character again and changing the head. Instead, I might do like an Instagram post or a Twitter post showing you how to do it, and I'll link it down below. But anyways, let me know. So again, this is the front side one last time, and now what we're going to do is come around to the left side of the head and start working on that. So I decided for this, I was going to do a lot of detail rather than just making it plain quartz. So there's a lot of light greys and a lot of details, so this might take a second. So we're going to start off on the left side, work layer by layer. The first layer is 6 stone and 2 light grey. And again, it's an 8 by 8 square, so 8 layers. The second layer, from left to right, is 1 light grey. And let's get our quartz next to the light grey, it makes a lot more sense. 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 2 quartz, 1 light grey, and 1 quartz. Let's also get the stone there. The third layer is 1 stone, 1 light grey, 1 quartz, 2 light grey, 2 quartz. The fourth layer is 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 3 quartz. The next layer is 2 quartz, 3 light grey, 1 quartz, 1 light grey. The next layer is 2 light grey, 1 quartz, 2 light grey, 2 quartz. The seventh layer, second to last layer, is 1 quartz, 2 light grey, 2 quartz, 2 light grey, and then the final layer is 7 quartz. And that will link up together with the light grey right here, and that will give you an 8 by 8 square. As you can see, this is the left side of the head. This would be a good time to pause if you want to. And the other side is the exact same. So nice and easy. If you want to copy and paste it across the other side, flip it over, then you're more than welcome to do so. So anyways, coming around to the right side now, again, as I just said, we're going to do the exact same. So the first layer is 2 light grey and 6 stone. The second layer is 1 quartz, 1 light grey, 2 quartz, 1 light grey, quartz, light grey. The third layer is 2 quartz, 2 light grey, 1 quartz, 1 light grey, and 1 stone. The next layer is 3 quartz, 1 light grey, 1 quartz, 1 light grey, and 1 quartz. The next layer is 1 light grey, 1 quartz, 3 light grey, 2 quartz. The next layer is 2 quartz, 2 light grey, 1 quartz, 2 light grey. Second to last layer, aka the seventh layer, is 2 light grey, 2 quartz, 2 light grey, 1 quartz. And then the final layer is simply 7 quartz. And again, that will finish it up. And that is the right side of the head. Again, an 8 by 8. So, moving on now to the second last side of the head, the rear side, currently presented with a U shape. Now again, it is 8 by 8, however, the first row is already done, and also the last row is done, which means we're only placing 6 blocks per row and just joining it up. So the first row is 2 stone, 4 light grey, and 2 stone. That should already be done. The next layer is 1 light grey, 4 stone, 1 light grey. After that, we're going to place 1 stone, 1 light grey, 2 quartz, 1 light grey, 1 stone. Now on top of this stone, we're going to build up 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right up to the top. And in its remaining area, which should be a 5x4, we're going to fill it in with pure quartz. So a 5x4 of quartz, and then surrounded by a row of stone. As you can see here, that's what it looks like. And it's kind of like the part that separates the mask, like the stitching, I guess you can say. So that leaves us with just our final side now, which is of course the top. So coming to the top, we're going to come to the front side and look at it from that angle. First thing we're going to do is link the 2 stone parts together. So there's a stone block on either side, and there's a 6 block gap in between. We're going to go ahead and place 6 stone in between and join them together. This leaves us with a 6x4 area in the middle. What we're going to go ahead and do is fill this in with quartz, and then we're going to punch some details into it afterwards for like stitching, dirt, just general creases and stuff like that, just general detail. So, as you can see, that presents us with an 8x4 area. We're going to go to the bottom left corner from the front angle and go up diagonal. From here, we're going to punch out a pattern. So we punch this one out, we go up diagonal, punch it out, up diagonal to left, up 1, to right 1, up diagonal to left, and then up diagonal to right, and that's our pattern. We're then going to go ahead and fill in the pattern with our light grey wool. In total, that is 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks, as you can see, and that is the top side of the head. So, with that said, that is the tutorial done. That is the statue complete. You have got your very own Deadshot statue from Suicide Squad. Now, I know a lot of you guys will question why I haven't added a gun, because he has his assault rifle, his red one, but I've decided not to add that because building guns, especially small scale in Minecraft, is a real pain and they look awful. I learned this with Star Wars. I built a gun, I believe, on Han Solo, and it looked really bad. Now, that was a pistol and that was difficult. Building an assault rifle in such a small area is just going to look like a banana, I guess is pretty much the only comparison I can make. Let me show you what I mean. So essentially, if you were to build a gun, it would look like this, and it just looks bad. So, not going to do that. If you want to play around with that, you're more than welcome. But I'm not like confident enough with my ability to build weaponry in Minecraft at that scale, so I'm not going to be doing it today. But with that said, I do hope you enjoyed. Again, I'll do a little spin around of the head as I ramble now. So the head is an 8x8x8 cube, each side is 8x8, feel free to pause whenever you want. But apart from that, I really do hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like and subscribing down below if you haven't already. Also, check out my other Suicide Squad videos in the playlist I'll link down below. I've done Katana, I've done Harley Quinn, and also Mr. Jared Leto's Joker, so definitely check that out. That'll be cool. I've got some more statues on the way. Pretty much going to be doing Enchantress, maybe a few of the other characters such as El Diablo. Killer Croc, not so sure because he is a bit of a pain. But apart from that, again, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my second channel where I've been doing a bunch more content such as the FNAF World characters. So, apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, my name has been Gummy, and goodbye. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you?